We're going to talk about our mental health and also staying safe, especially during this COVID, this pandemic that we've been kind of living, the lifestyle we've been living these last 2 years. And it doesn't look like it's going to go ahead and let up in it. So I want to talk a little bit always to kind of remind ourselves about our mental health and our well-being, because if we don't stay tuned with it, then that's when we start having problems. So I will be asking you questions, so if you can take yourself off of mute. You can put it in the chat, but sometimes when I go to the chat, it clicks me off from where I am on the slides and everything. So if you do have a comment, don't be shy. Okay, I'm gonna take that. Let's get started. So during this time frame, we're going to talk about what is mental health and why it's more than just the mind, because it causes so much, and why it's crucial that we understand and get a better understanding of our mental states and how to maintain, especially in this world where we're going on now, a positive mindset. And also we'll talk about some safety issues as far as the summer, and especially with the COVID. And then in conclusion, we'll have our meditation and some of the signs that you may want to go ahead and say, I need some professional help. So, what is mental health? Is it a state of mind? Any points on that? Any thoughts? Okay, no thoughts. Well, defining mental health is a positive concept. It encompasses our emotions, our psyche, and our social interaction. Because if you think about it, all of this, how we're feeling, what's going on in our lives, and how we're interacting, they all involve our mental health. And a lot of times we think about our physical health, we think about our physical health, we think about our financial health, we think about all these other health types of things. But the one thing we don't think about or put a lot of attention on is our mental health. How are we feeling? Is it are we feeling negative? Are we feeling positive? How are we interacting with other people? And we just, and because of the past, and I like to say during the last 2 years, it has allowed us to stop, slow down, and really take note of what's going on, not only around us and not being so reactionary, but also at the same time is allowing us to take time and see what's going on with ourselves. How many of you want to agree with that? You can just kind of raise your hand and say, yeah, I've since this last 2 years, I've been kind of really putting more of a check into what's been going on with my mental and emotional health. More than, the physical part, yes, it's good, but the emotional health is also so key. So if you think about it, your mental health is more than just a state of mind. It's having a good mental health is also the absence of illness. And I would like to say, and I'm always saying, it is a state of holistic well-being. When I say holistic, I always like to say the body, the mind, and the spirit. We all have to connect with each element of our being. And so when we say holistic, sometimes when I refer to it, I always like to put a W, because then that's when I put the W in front of it, then people kind of get it because it's the whole person. We're just not one part. We're not just the body. We're just not the mind. We're not just our emotions. We're all of them. And when you connect with each element of who you are, that's when you start feeling a little bit better and connected not only with what's going on around you, but also within yourself. And just think about it. And people don't really think about it that much because, like I said, up until a few years ago, and some of you may agree, go, 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 go. and you never really take note of what's going on. Now that's something very critical. But do you realize that 1 out of 5 adults experienced a mental health concern within the last year? And those numbers are actually going up. Sometimes there's been such a negative um, perception of mental illness and mental health that a lot of people they just don't want to acknowledge it. But it is very common. And for those of you who've been thinking about it, thinking that you're not really handling things very well, and you say, oh no, it's just me, 1 out of 5. And those numbers are going up. So you're not alone. Mental health issues affect everyone. It can happen to everyone. A survey, 85% of the survey said it happens to everyone. So 85% agrees, and about the rest kind of is on the sideline. But when we start becoming more aware, and I think these classes that we've been having is kind of helping a lot of people become more aware of the mental well-being and also to understanding the mental how your mental health impacts everything about your whole being every day. When we are mentally healthy, we can realize our abilities, cope with stress, increase work productivity, and contribute to society. And think about it. If you're having a little bit of problems with your mental well-being, what happens? You're not able to handle stress in a positive way because sometimes some people handle stress in a very negative way by becoming very explosive, by isolating themselves. And sometimes they try to cope with it with drugs and alcohol or get into unhealthy lifestyles. When you think about it as well, you're working better. You're clear, your mind is clear, you're able to work and interact with your coworkers. You're able to do so much more when your mental well-being is at its optimal condition. And guess what? You also contribute to society. How can you contribute to society when you're mentally healthy? You're out there volunteering. You're more receptive to the community of what's going on around you and of your others around you, your neighbors, and even your friends and your family members. How many of you can think about it, feel that within the last 2 years, maybe 3, that you've been having problems and people have been saying, what happened to you? Well, what's going on with you? You're just not yourself. Or you're just exploding at every little thing that I say to you. Are your children saying anything like that? Is your spouse saying anything like that? Why are you biting my head off? And you realize it's not hormonal for women. And some of you can't blame it on hormones. It may just say you might want to think about maybe it's my mental health. Maybe I'm having some of these problems that I need to address. Here are some of the warning signs you may want to think about when you're having problems. How many of you, if you think about it, you're feeling really hopeless or just helpless, just there's nothing you can do, and no matter what happens, you just can't get rid of this feeling of hopelessness. How many of you are having extremely different mood swings? You're up and you're down, you're up and you're down. I used to jokingly say that as a business owner, I used to go through these ups and downs. And then when COVID happened, I realized it wasn't so much the business of saying, am I successful? Am I not successful? Are we doing good? We're not doing good. Uh, I was going through this and I really had to take note of the fact that once the pandemic happened, I had to shut down the business for a while, that a lot of it wasn't the business. There was some underlying things that I had to address within my own mental status. And so for me, the slowing down and not having the business to run and a lot of things that went along with it, it really helped me to address the key things and realize here it is, I'm the wellness lady, as my husband used to refer to me. And I started doing a lot of the practices and really delved in some of the practices to help my mental health and my mental well-being. And so that's my story I like to share with everybody. And I like to say that for me, the pandemic has allowed me to slow down. What about you? Anybody would like to share? Well, some of the other things that you may consider is having no energy. Now, you can say that, well, I have no energy, but if you think about it, if you're eating okay, you're having a healthy diet, you have to look at why all of a sudden you're having no energy. And those are some of the warning signs that you may be having some problems and that you may want to address. Pulling away from the usual activities. You used to go out and hang out with your friends, and of course, the pandemic has kind of limited that. But those usual activities, you can go ahead and change them around. Yes, you may not have been able to go to happy hour or go meet up at different activities because of the pandemic, but one of the nice things are is that you can go ahead and change the type of activities you used to do and create some new ones. But if you find yourself really not feeling that you want to do that, then that's just another, check mark you want to go ahead and put on this list. Just feeling numb, like, and some of the things a lot of people may find themselves doing is when they feel emotionally and mentally numb, they will do certain things to harm themselves, like cutting. And the cutting may allow them to feel some kind of pain because they're feeling mentally numb. And, and if you find yourself doing certain things that's hurting yourself or cutting or doing different things just to feel like you're alive or something, that is another warning sign. And so even if you think about, well, you know what, this is, why do I need to continue on? There's so many different things that's going on in my life and around other lives, and you just start feeling hopeless. And because of that, some people actually think about harming themselves or lashing out on others. I would say even if you check one or two of these, it's not to say that there's anything wrong with you. It's just saying that you may want to consider that everything is not okay. I know that everything is okay, everything is okay, everything is not okay. But recognizing and being aware of things not being okay is the step towards healing. And just think about it, we're just kind of going through this again. How many of you feel that you're eating more? And I've had a lot of people um, talk about the COVID pounds. Now, my question is the COVID pounds because you're not outside going to work? Or is it the COVID pounds because you're starting to eat more to help with your stress and help with feeling unable to cope with different things? And so you start smoking your cigarettes, or you might start smoking. You might find yourself eating, or just to escape everything, you find yourself taking these long naps. Like every other hour, you're taking a nap. You're sleeping too much, or maybe not enough. So, in the energy level, you just don't feel like you want to do anything. And even the, the, the big everyone is feeling confused. I mean, there's so much that's been going on, and and it's understandable that you might feel scared, on edge, or even confused. But if you think about that, coupled with some of the other check marks that you probably checked as you was looking at the previous slide, it's time to really go ahead and try to get some help on how do you turn it around. And that's what we're going to talk about. How do you maintain a positive mental health? We're going to talk about some tips in which you can talk about and do yourself. Because when you think about maintaining a positive um, mental health, guess what? You're able to work better. You're able to do more things in the community, be able to do some volunteer work. And I think everybody, you might be able to participate in more programs at your church or within the community. And you're able to deal with stress. A lot of times people deal with stress in a very negative way by hiding and by doing some negative things. That's not coping with stress, but being able to do certain things and maintain a positive mindset. The stress levels is kind of like what's going on. And the greatest thing is realizing your potential, what you're able to do, because now things look a little bit and a lot better and different than it had before. And you say, you know what? I could do that. I'm able to do that. Let's do it. So, here's some different things that you could do. Coping skills. Whenever you're feeling stressed or worried or concerned about things, sometimes, especially when a lot of stuff is compounding and building up, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. You may need to take a few deep breaths. Because when you take a deep breath, that actually changes the wired mechanism within your nervous system. Studies have shown when you take a deep breath, it actually changes the wiring within your nervous system. And it starts helping you to relax. Embracing the five senses. Whenever you're going through a lot of different things, just stop and do a check, a mental check. Five senses, your sight, your hearing, your touch, your taste. Just put everything into check. Start just thinking about everything. We call it sometimes being mindful of the five senses. Now, for those of you who are having a little bit of a problem because we had gotten COVID, one of the things that a lot of people have happened to them was losing a sense of taste and smell. You can actually try to retrain your abilities, and it's kind of help rewiring your brain. And what you could do is kind of using your memory, especially if I use essential oils, and you can go ahead and inhale essential oil. Let's say orange, and you can tell your brain inhaling, and you tell your brain this is orange. You tell your nervous system this is orange. You can do that with different essential oils: orange, lemon, peppermint, and you can actually at the same time do the same thing with tasting each one of these and telling your brain and your nervous system what this is. And that's something that you can help with your taste and your smell. Be in touch with your thoughts and feelings. A lot of times we hide things, and the one thing you cannot really hide is your feelings and your thoughts because they're going to surface. It's going to surface in very negative type of behavior. So when you feeling maybe low, kind of sit back, take a couple of deep breaths, start relaxing, embracing your five senses, ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? What am I thinking about right now? Am I feeling stressed? And then you go back and say, why am I feeling stressed? What is it that's causing me to feel stressed right now? Become more aware of your feelings and your thoughts. And there's nothing wrong with that because now you can go here and understand why certain things are happening to you. The other thing that you can do is connect with others, whether or not you able to do it, especially if you're still kind of isolating yourself because of the pandemic, especially now that the numbers are going up. You can go back to calling each other, talk to each other on the phone, and the nice thing is, if the phone's lately, you can go ahead and do FaceTime, which is just as good. And just think about 20, 30 years ago, you didn't have that ability to do FaceTime. And that's really isolating, 20, 30 years ago. But now you do FaceTime, and it's just like being there. And again, acknowledging your feelings. Feel happy, and embrace what's going to make you feel happy. Do those things that's going to make you feel happy, especially if you start, you realize I'm not feeling happy, I'm feeling kind of sad. But acknowledge your feelings. It's not, understand that things are not right now. Let's go ahead and change it. One of the things that's been a study, and it shows that your brain cannot do two things at once. We try to multitask. We really do. But the one part of the brain that cannot multitask is feeling happy and sad at the same time. You can't do it. There has been studies that show that you cannot feel sad and be happy at the same time. So, what do you want to do? In acknowledging your feelings, if you feel it right now that you're feeling sad, acknowledge it and you do something to change it around. You can go ahead and go on your smart TV or just, go on your phone and take a little bit of break and go on YouTube and watch puppies or kittens, or even go ahead and look at and listen to a baby laughter. And you do that for about 3 minutes, and the sadness is gone because now the brain is focusing on happiness and feeling at ease. And one of the other things that you can do is exercise. 43% of people who do some type of physical activities has less days of poor mental health than those who do. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go out there and, hurt yourself by going out there jogging or doing something very strenuous. You can do a 20-minute walk. And of course, right now it's kind of hot out there, but if you wake up a little bit early, you just do 10 minutes of going outside and doing a little bit of a walk, or even, practicing some yoga movements. You can do yoga sitting in a chair too as well. So you don't have to do everything on the floor. But just doing some type of activity, physical activities for about 20 minutes, that's gonna help. It helps out a lot because during those times when you're doing those physical activities, your thought process is a little bit different. You're not really focusing on a lot of things that's kind of bringing you down. You become more aware of your five senses. You're able to breathe, and in doing that, you're able to relax a lot more. So let me ask a question. How many of you, since the pandemic, these last 2 years, have found yourself getting a little bit more physically active? Anybody want to share? No? Okay. Well, I can share. I can tell you that I used when my before the pandemic, I was up at 6 o'clock, and then I was in the office by 9. And it really, during the pandemic, I've made a habit and a routine that I get up, I do about 20, right now I'm up to about 40 minutes of exercising and get me a nice healthy breakfast. And I watch puppy movies. I'm sorry, I have to tell you, I may get myself a pet bull because I've been watching them and look how adorable they look. And it's just really helped. And then I also start doing meditation. And that's my routine I try to have every morning. And I can tell you that the routine I've created for myself has really helped with my mental well being. Of course, you may have your jobs that you have to go to, but if you just get up just a little bit early than usual and just do something, you could do some yoga movements, about 20 minutes. You could do some jumping jacks or running in place, or even get on the treadmill that's been in the corner, been used as a closet. Okay. So we're in the summertime. So let's see what we could do during the summertime, and let's go ahead and be very safe during this time frame. Let's talk about that a little bit. One thing that we was hoping that didn't happen, that wasn't going to happen, is the fact that the numbers are starting to increase, especially now that the summertime. And we just been, I mean, how many want to admit it? Just tired of this thing and how it's been causing us to change everything. You can't go here, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yes, that is our new world, that we're kind of limited. But don't let that limitation hinder you from going out there and enjoying yourself. Be aware, of course, going back out into large crowds, especially if you're going on vacation and you want to go to Orlando and spend time at Disney or Universal City Studios. Um, you don't want to do that, but you can still do that. You just have to be cautious. One of the things that you can do is if you're planning on doing a trip, call AAA. And calling AAA, they can go ahead and give you different statuses and things like that. You can also call the hotel or places that you're planning on staying and get some information about, anything that you may need to be aware of. By planning ahead and knowing what's going to be out there, it's going to help. Like I said, our numbers are increasing. Now we got these new variants, and it makes you kind of leery. But don't let that inhibit you to always, try to avoid. If you're going to be in crowds and things like that, wear a mask. It's better to be out there wearing a mask in a crowd and taking you looking silly or something like that. But you're being cautious and you're thinking about yourself. And you're also thinking about your community, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're planning on taking any trips, again, go ahead and call ahead and find out if there's any restrictions. Some cities and states and even countries do have certain restrictions, so you may want to be aware of those before you go. And pack. Before, when we used to go out, especially in the summertime, we always had our bottle of water to keep hydrated. Now the new thing is to put in some extra masks and keep them available whenever needed. Now you're out there, you've got your travel plans and everything else. Make sure you stay hydrated. We've been hitting 104, 100, 104 in midday to, close from 12 to about 4 o'clock. And we're getting kind of frustrated with it. I understand. But stay hydrated. I kind of look at it, I put a positive spin on it. Um, I'm out there guess what's the healthiest thing you can do for your body? And that's to sweat. We don't like to sweat. We're so used to being in cool, close, confined areas that our bodies holding a lot of toxins because we don't want to be out there sweating. So I kind of look at that I go out and I sweat. I know I'm getting rid of a lot of toxins through my skin. And by drinking water, I'm helping to flush it out a lot more. So that's something that you could do. Now, of course, limit the amount of time that you're out there, but don't dread it. I mean, if you think about it, when you put in that negative thought, oh, it's 104 degrees out there again, it's 100. You're allowing yourself to get into that mode of negative thoughts and stress and everything else. Just put a positive spin, take your water, drink. You got your own God-given sauna when you sweat. Make sure you wear sunglasses and to protect your eyes. And use your sunscreen. You should at least have at least a 30, even up to about 70, depending on the heat and the weather and the fairness of your skin. You may want to go up to as much as you can up to 70 SPF as far as sunscreen and making sure you don't injure yourself. Wear a hat. Hey, we're in Texas. When I moved here, I was surprised. I didn't see a lot of people wearing hats. Not if I go to Dallas, then I think a lot of people up here wear hats. It's fashionable. Find shade and get underneath the shade and stay there. Or if you walk, if you're gonna go do some exercising and walking, go ahead and find a park that has a lot of shade. There, Regis Park has some shade. There's a lot of places that have a lot of shade, but try to avoid the places that doesn't have a lot of shade. And make sure you take your water with you. Okay, this comes a real nice fun part, our meditation. So what I would like for you to do, I want you to kind of sit in a very nice, comfortable position. And if you're listening to this audio, if you're at home, you go ahead and find yourself comfortable laying on the floor. And I want you just to get comfortable with your spine elongated. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit with your legs crossed, or just sit on the chair with your back supported. And we're going to do this a little bit differently. We're going to do an affirmation, and you're going to have to get a copy of it, and it's titled, I allow job stress to roll right off of my back. And so we're going to do that first, and then we're going to go into the meditation. So make sure you turn off your cell phones. If you're going to do some meditation in the office, make sure you put a little bit of a sign or don't allow yourself to be distracted as you get ready to get started. Take care of your well-being. As you take a deep breath, inhale, hold it, and exhale. Inhale, relax. With each breath, video, a lot of beach scenes, have nice and soft winter awareness settle. Notice how your mind and belly expand and contract as you breathe in and out. Each breath, feel your body the muscle tension is decreasing as your body relaxes. Affirmation. I love my job even when there are challenges. I still enjoy my work. Job stress may affect others, but I am free from such stresses and its negative effects. I make it a point to keep job stress from affecting as you breathe in. I want you to feel making a point, job stress from affecting. Every time there is a challenge at work, I'm greeted with peace and acceptance. I take a deep breath in and allow relaxation to grow within me. I am grateful at employment, and I know that I can overcome any difficulties at work with my positive attitude. Each day brings a new possibilities for challenge and change. This is a good day. With the change, I will grow. I enjoy growing, learning, and growing. Meeting challenges at work without stress makes me even more resilient, and I enjoy being strong. When others see that I am unstressed, they feel more relaxed too. My joy and peace helps my coworkers lower their stress level. This is a blessing to both others and me, allowing job stress to roll off of me makes my work environment. This intentional relaxation makes my home life better as well, because I am happy when I come home from work. I can leave work at work, focus on my family. Today, I vanish. work stress, breathe in deeply and hold your breath for 5 seconds. 4, and exhale. Picture the stress leaving your body as you gently blow out. You're also blowing away the stress of in, hold the breath for 5, 4, exhale and feel the breath leaving your body. Picture stress also. Exhale, but also blowing away stress. Become aware of your surroundings. How does it feel on your leg? Just be aware. Focus on feeling the air going into inhale and exhale. Moving up to your trunk area, abdomen, feeling your belly rise and fall as you breathe in. Just be aware of the sensations as you inhale, up to your lungs. How does it feel? Feel the air going in, out, and exhale your lungs and your belly. Expanding to your shoulders, relaxation. As you gently move to the top of your head, sensation with each breath that breathes in out, getting more and more relaxed. And each rest. Just feel that pull all the way up your toes of this sensation of relaxation. And as you get ready, close this meditation. Hold on to this feeling. Recognize this feeling. Recognize the sensation as you're going through relaxation. Start wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, and when you're ready, bring your attention to your surroundings and gently open your eyes. As you open your eyes, notice all around the sensation that you can feel your eyes closed. You can now feel your eyes open. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that meditation. So, in conclusion, holistic healing is about the whole person. It's about your mental, your physical, and so many different aspects of you. If you feel at any particular time or moment, especially after um, realizing that there's things that you can do, it could take a lot of different things. It could take meditation. It may take, going to getting medication if you need to, or doing meditation or counseling or support group. All which is covered in your insurance. So reach out and seek help as needed because if you notice the difference between the beginning of your meditation to the end, and if you felt really nice and relaxed, that is the goal that you want to feel throughout your day. And when you don't feel that, then try different techniques that we discussed. And I want you to be safe. I want you to be safe this summer, especially with the pandemic. Numbers. Don't get frustrated because this is what it is. Don't get frustrated. You just roll off your back and just do the things that you need to do to help things make it more comfortable for you, also for your family. I thank you. If you want to take yourself off of mute, and if you have any questions or anything like that, if you want to ask, just feel free to do that. I'll turn my screen back on.